All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live Asian session. I'm your host for tonight's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for everyone being here with us on what is this Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. And without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions. Grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. So if everybody can hear me loud and clear and you're all ready to go, drop me a 1 in the chat and we can get this session started right on the CPI day. So let's go right to it. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the ones. All right, so we are all set. So let me exit out of here, close this out, and so let's talk about it. This was pre-market today. This is earlier today, Bloomberg surveillance, and just wanted you guys to listen to this introduction. So hold on 1 second. Let me click on this. Make sure I got this good. And just listen to this and how the tones change and the rhetoric changes, right?
I think the markets have been mispricing the Fed for a while now.
We don't think the Fed is done.
How high does the Fed need go? It needn't go too high, in part because of the confidence it's instilling in investors and the public.
Effectively, I think what we're seeing is that things are actually improving around the world.
Maybe nothing happens and we just have a plain run-of-the-mill recession. That's my bet at this point, if we have a recession.
This is Bloomberg Surveillance with Tom Keene.
Now, did everybody hear that? Drop me a 2 in the chat. All right, so listen, they don't know. The bottom line is, and the reason why I wanted to play that is, do not bet against the Fed. Don't do it. Don't do it. These central bankers, let's pay attention to what they have to say, right? So can everybody agree? Drop me a 3 in the chat. That was a little bit all over the place, right? So let's follow those key fundamentals that we follow, and let's pay attention to these ABCDs on the chart, right? I hope everybody can agree with that because they don't know. So, you can do very, very well sticking to what you know, right? And what you do already. That was a hot mess today. And then we saw that the CPI came in at 6.4 for the CPI year over year, month over month came in right at forecast quarter CPI. But you can see the narrative, right? Resilient U.S. inflation pushes yields higher, right? And sends stocks in a spin. Okay, so all types of articles, right? But we see it playing out on the chart. So no worry, right? Not a lot of new information. Here's what the big banks thinks. U.S. core CPI picks up, lights up Fed pricing. All right, so it's really what the Fed has been saying all along, right? And now you have Governor Lowe from the Reserve Bank of Australia spoke today. Right here, so you can see some of the squawks from Live Squawk. RBA's low, monetary policy is restrictive, inflation is way too high, needs to come down. RBA's low, risk that we have not yet done enough on interest rates. All right, so inflation is still sticky, everybody. They misled me a couple of times and I don't listen to them prior to any news. No, absolutely not. I agree, Beneath. Crazy, right? They're on there trying to save face with their investors. That's what they're doing. So yeah, it's a combination of the technicals and the fundamentals. That's exactly why we do it. It paints a better picture for us overall. So if we come back, what's this, Tuesday CPI tomorrow? We've got the CPI year over year and core CPI coming out for the UK. That's going to be at 2 a.m. So if you're trading any pound crosses, right, just know that the markets may move right at 2 a.m. And then we've got 8:30 tomorrow, Wednesday, another busy day because we've got core retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, and retail sales. We've got Governor Lagarde speaking tomorrow as well from the European Central Bank. It's not a red folder, so I'm be interested to find out what she's going to be talking about. And at 7:30, we've got employment numbers coming out for Australia. So another busy day tomorrow. Over on trade and economics, we can see that Asian stocks mostly decline. ECB could raise rates above 3.5%, so they're staying pretty hawkish. A lot of news, everybody. Oil extends fall on large U.S. stock build. That was some news today regarding oil. So lots and lots and lots going on. We take a look at the U.S. dollar. You can see overall how we moved up. We had to move up, and then just for the last 2 weeks coming into this week, we kind of neutral, right? So neutral to bearish here overall, and that'll lead us to see that we're kind of stuck in the range as we move down through the charts. So you can see we're stuck in between these two daily levels. Dollar can't make up his mind. A lot of back and forth, and then on the 4, here's your tighter range here, right? So we need price to break out eventually when it comes to the dollar. So we'll see if we get bid eventually, but we've got to wait for some things to work themselves out, and sometimes it takes a while, right? We saw the indecision on the intro of that Bloomberg surveillance from this morning prior to the CPI. So this is where we are. Okay. Any questions on the DXY or anything fundamentally? No? Okay. All right. So hold on one second. Let me make sure everybody has control over the microphone. Okay. I think we are all good. So let's take a look at, since I'm going to dive back into, I'm going to go through some pairs pretty swiftly, but I want to take a look at these Australian pairs coming off of what Governor Lowe had to say this evening. So we want to take a look at some levels and where we are as far as the overall swings, right? We have, our 80-20s that we like to play a lot, but then there comes the times where we get those corrections to start to slow down, and then we start to get things to pick back up with the trend. So I want you guys to take a look at actually a few price patterns on these Aussies. So if we come to the daily, okay, you can see that overall, right, this Aussie cat has been bullish, right? You got this entire fib that's above the cloud. All right, so we got to pull back to a 61.8. We pushed up right into resistance around that 118, 127 zone. We got the correction right back down to the cloud. We've got a stochastic, right, that's in the buy zone. Okay, got a stochastic that's in the buy zone. We know we got oil dropping off just a little bit, so we'll continue to watch that. But on this Aussie cat now, on the 4, okay, should you pay attention to these first few that we go through and look at the price action pattern, right? So you can see here around this 50% level that we double bottomed, okay, that we double bottomed. So what I want to see, okay, is if I'm going to look to get long. So we know on the daily time frame, we saw this press into the cloud, okay, and we're a little choppy, little range bound there. But what I want to look out for is I'm going to monitor this on my 4-hour for a long-term move. If this Oz is going to continue to strengthen, it's going to break this cloud. Okay, show you I'm going to play a few of these. All right. If we get the break of that cloud, we break through that 93.79 resistance and we hold, and right, we get the Kumo twist, right, from the cloud training. We get the Kumo twist up ahead and we get bullish. Then I'm going to look to get long, right? And this is if you're not already long, right? Some people, you may have been playing some short plays in and out of some of the lower time frames, but I'm looking at these higher time frame swings now and being patient to where price may eventually go. Everybody follow me, drop me a 2 in the chat. So these are like some long-term swings if we continue to get bullish momentum on some of these Aussie pairs, right? Because I've got to respect that pattern until it tells me otherwise. Okay, till we break below, right, that double bottom, and hold on, and we get some sort of a bearish move to push deeper. As long as it holds above that double bottom, I'm gonna be looking forward to see if I can get price to break the cloud. Okay, and here's why. So that's the Aussie CAD. If I come to this Aussie Swissy, we can see here where we've pressed, right, pretty almost to a 61.8, right up against that 6,300 level. Okay, a deep retracement. You see, we got the push up to the 118, 127, and then we got the correction. Stochastics in the buy zone. So I'm watching this closely because I'm really interested in this Aussie. Now, you can see here where we originally, right, it's a Swissy pair, it's a little bit choppy, but you can see here where we kind of got the similar price action where price double bottomed right in that zone. So now we've kind of pushed up. So if I come down to the 1, you can see where it's correcting back down to retest it now, but you can see how it started to break through these levels and get some momentum. Okay, so I'm interested to see once it retests, can we get a continuation? Okay. So then it becomes the same thing. Can we get price, right? You can see the consolidation. Can we get price to break out and get a good cloud alignment, right? Kumo twist up ahead, bullish, start to get the Tinkerson and the Kijisen to crossover, get the Chico span above price, eventually above the cloud to see if that wants to get long. Okay, so you can see how all of these plays, right? So if you look at what it leads to, the market moves up, down, and sideways. And you can see how we've got the new AB boundary. Here was the 80-20 play. Look how that pushed. Right? Look how that pushed up against this weekly level. Right? Double top action in that zone. That's good confirmation. And then we got to move down. Okay, so that's your classic 80-20. Now, if the market stays somewhat risk on, if we get the Aussie to continue to stay bullish, right, thinking that they're going to have more aggressive monetary policy, more rate hikes in the future, then if this cloud breaks, right, I'm going to look to get bullish. Okay, I'm going to look to get bullish. All right, so that is the Aussie Swiss, but I am going to wait, right? I am going to wait and be disciplined. Okay, so, you might have already taken, right, 80-20 play to the downside. So I don't have to be super aggressive and greedy. Let's just wait, right? And I'm going to stick right here on this 4-hour time frame to see if it breaks that level. Okay. Ryan, good evening, sir.
Good evening, bro. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great. Doing great. Glad to be here. Crazy busy day in the markets.
Yeah, definitely was, man.
Yeah, so a funny reaction. That's why I always like to wait for the dust to settle and take it easy, because it was some utter nonsense. The way the market went. So yeah, he caught that mess. You get whipsawed all around. So
all over the place.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the market settling down and moving on past the day. But we got retail sales and things coming up too. So we shall see. What a crazy reaction this morning. Yep.
Yes,
so yeah, so this is where we are on the Aussie Swiss. Any questions? Any questions on that? No? All right, we're good. So let's move on down, right, and take a look at the Aussie yen. Okay. Now this is one where we called out. We said, hey, we might have a correction on the which is crazy because you're starting to get it now. But let me roll back a little bit, right? So look at that, Ryan. That alternating correction. Isn't that crazy?
man.
So so we started to, right, we saw this 80-20 opportunity, and we actually got it to start to push back to the downside. We got the news to come out, consolidated, right? And then it just boom, took off, hit the D. All right. So, hey, that's what happens. That's what happens in the game. So we hit the D extension. Now we got an immediate correction to the downside. But the reason why I thought this setup was going to be really decent, the correction, is because if you look, right, and you come to the daily time frame, now you can see where we got a D extension hit. Okay? It plays out no matter what the time frame. Here's our AB boundary. Our deepest move within that AB boundary is our C. We came in right at that 786, and you can see it carried to that D extension, and we just got one hit right there. Okay. Now we got momentum, right? Stochastic in the buy zone. That's another Aussie pair with that daily stochastic in the buy zone. We're getting a correction now. What else is new, right? We got an extension to get hit. But the reason why I thought that Aussie yen on that lower time frame is going to give us a good play, because it started out really good, right? So look here. This is why I'm looking on that Aussie CAD before I get to that. The Aussie CAD and the Aussie Swiss is because here's the same double bottom type price action pattern. And you can see here that eventually we got the break. It's a beautiful break too, right? Beautiful break. So the reason why I thought that was going to be lovely and push all the way down to the 382 on the 15-minute was because this was it right here. This was the move. So I'm loving that setup because I'm thinking we're going to get this push all the way down to retest and push into this cloud and hold. But you can see where we stalled. And this is where it went sideways on the lower time frame. Then the news broke and we exploded. So it is what it is. So we already knew overall, right, that the Aussie yen play was long. As a matter of fact, when we're coming out of last week, we're saying, hey, those yen, watch those yen crosses, right? Things looking like they're kind of setting up slowly but surely. And you can see that your currencies are making a move against the yen. So you can see, look, a break and a retest, and now we're correcting. So we're looking for this to continue bullish, right? And so that's why I'm looking at the Aussie CAD, the Aussie Swiss, where this one is moving a little bit faster. It's already made the break of the cloud. What I'm hoping is that happens on the Aussie CAD and the Aussie Swiss as well, right? So that's why I have my eyes on those pairs. So let's continue to watch that, because as long as it can correct, if we stay above this cloud, right, here is the Kumo twist that we're talking about, where we get that bullish signal up ahead. Right? We like seeing that. Okay. So we're kind of bullish up ahead right there. Guess I shouldn't have did that, but take that back clear. Just can't see it now. There. So we got that green cloud and there's that twist. So we're looking to stay bullish because, hey, if we stay above this cloud now, that's what price wants to do, then we got a D extension, right? And from this point is 319 pips away, okay? So if the Aussie stays strong, hey, we might get a correction. We know we got a D extension hit on the daily, but then we could eventually continue to the upside. Any questions on that, on the Aussie yen? No?
No, sir.
All right. So we seem to be pretty clear on that. Then I want to take a look at this this Aussie NZD. All right, and we can see, look at that swing, right? If you're a long-term position type trader and you see something like this on the weekly that happened several weeks ago, look at that bullish engulfing candle there, right? Look at that. And that's been gone ever since, right? It's a beautiful move off that weekly support level. But we can see here that we're long. We broke the cloud, right? Look at that bullish candle right here, okay? And we're pushing up, but hey, we don't have a 382 yet. So don't be surprised if we get to this level, daily level 110.46, right? Ryan, I was talking about this earlier. Don't be surprised if we do see a correction to the downside. So we may get a correction and a break, right? We may not, it may just continue to push, but typically, right, it's in that zone where we may start to see a correction. But if you come down to the 4, this is fascinating. There's so many moves, right? This is a chart to study here, okay? Look at this move. Okay. So you had an 80-20 here, which was the bottom of the swing. Look at that. 80-20 swing there. Beautiful move that broke trend line. Okay. So that's your first swing. Now we got some bullish momentum for the Aussie. Here's that 110 level that we were talking about on the daily, right at this D extension. Boom. Right. You had another 80-20 play here. See? Same thing over and over again. Now, right, the question is, do we break this 8 boundary? Hit the D extension, continue up to move to break it, right? So we're looking pretty bullish, right? But this was the initial 80-20 swing, and it was a monster. It was a monster off that level. So back to that 382 was 245, 61.8, 332, and back to the top of that swing, 474, 475. All right, so if we take this off and we think we're bullish now, you can see how we're still holding above this trend line, holding above the cloud, right? We're getting pretty extended here on the 4. So I think a correction may be eventually coming, but we want to continue to watch this 110 level to see eventually after the correction, look for opportunities to get back bullish. So in essence, if we get corrective off this level, oops, okay, and we move back down, we get to the point where, hey, we hit the extension, we got a brand new fib, now a new AB boundary, something like this, right? Hit the D extension, forms a new AB boundary, we get the correction, then what? We look for a price to come down to our key sweet spot levels, and then look to try to get back above that cloud again, if we're going to see a continuation long in the Aussie. Any questions on the Aussie NZD?
No, sir.
All righty. Set your charts up right. It just becomes really simple, right? Because now we only talk about those certain zones that we're going to trade. And if we don't get them, we sit and we become patient. Okay. Then I think I want to take a look at this Aussie dollar real quick. Okay. It's kind of doing the dance, right? See where we are. So we continue to keep our eyes on this one, right? Because we still, right, could correct further down, maybe to reach that 68.55, but the play that we're all paying attention to is on this 4, because it was at 80-20, and it's doing the dance, right? So here's our 4-hour 80-20 setup. Didn't get that D extension, we collapsed. Then we got whipped around today. But we want to see if we can push back out that cloud and come back down to that 382. So we'll see. Stochastics, right? Momentum is topping out. See if we can get it to turn over and sell off back down to that 382. So we still do not have a 382 yet, at least on this Aussie dollar. So let's see if we get it. Right? It's been a battle, been quite a battle between the Bulls and the Bears, but we may just get that. So continue to keep an eye on that one. All right, so that's that. I want to look at the CAD Swiss. And this is one that we have for a long-term play, right? That we're following in the weekly newsletter, right? Long-term swing. And you can see that we're starting to get some momentum, but we're still neutral for the most part. But we're starting to see a little price action start to angle up, right? On the daily chart. Okay. What we see there, right? You can see it's slowly but surely trying to creep its way up. So let's continue to watch that one, right? We got a long-term target right there at 72.89. It's going to take a while, 74.88. But I want to keep watching this one, right? If we break through this, what is it, 69.35, 69.72, that weekly level at the top, then through the cloud, watch out, right? Watch out. And we'll see what's going to happen with that one. But I'm thinking still bullish on that. On the CAD Swiss, we're chopping around. right? But you can see the latest bullish momentum, right? So here's the fib off that low, getting whipsawed, just like we saw on the daily, but it's slowly making its way long. So continue to keep an eye on that cash switch to see if we can continue to break through some levels. That 69.72 weekly level is right into the extension there. Okay, so that's going to be quite interesting. Any questions on that cash switch?
No, sir. It's trying to get there, man.
It is, and it's going back and forth because you got the oil price bouncing back and forth, and then you got Canada talking about a pause in rates. But that could change, right? That rhetoric can change because it's slowly but surely starting to change across the board, right? The genie's still out of the bottle. They haven't gotten it back in the bottle yet in regards to inflation. So, central banks are being real cautious about taking the foot off the gas, but they did start using that rhetoric about pausing rates and stuff like that. But we'll see. We shall see. So we'll see if we break above and break that wedge to continue long on that. All right. So that's the CAD Swiss. I want to take a look at this CAD yen. Everything's making a bit of a run against the yen. So you can see, look at that nice, beautiful swing low there. Beautiful. 2 candles to the left, 2 candles to the right off of weekly support at 94.61. And we're pushing long right now. Okay. And you can see here, right off this swing, that is starting to move back topside. Right. Starting to move. So we don't know why it's that. Bottom line here is still moving to the downside. We got a nice pullback to a 61.8, but look how it moved. Now we're in the key zone here, but we wanna continue to watch that because look at this move, right? Off the swing. Once it broke that trend line. Okay. So we may, right, enter to outer trend line. And we may continue to see price move right to the upside on that. So on the one, what I'm looking for here now, right? Mark this one down, right? Because it's up in our zone, it's getting towards our zone, it's holding, hasn't broken below that level. So I would prefer for it to push up here and retest that 118, 127 zone, but looking for price, right, to move down, and then potentially a continuation. Okay, so that's a possible 80-20. If it holds at this support level at 99.35, past resistance becoming future support, and it pushes up here, now we're in our 80-20 zone. If we don't get that 382 pullback first, okay? So we want to keep an eye on that one as well. So that's where we are on the CAD yen. Any questions?
No, sir.
Ready. Another one that I am keeping my eye on is this this Swiss yen setup that who posted this in the group, Ryan? You were going back and forth. That was
I posted it and then Mally had
Miley. Okay.
yeah. Had a
Okay.
markup. And then just broke down each time frame, yep.
Got it. Yep. So you can see it held here at the double bottom, right? In that zone, and it's pushing up weekly long, right, against the yen. Okay. And we're trying to get above that cloud. Okay, trying to get above that cloud. It's struggling, but look, all right, got to play here. So if I zoom out, here. Is your 80-20? Back down. Almost took out the A. It hung right in at that 137.46. Didn't take out the A. And on your 4, we're now above the cloud. So I'm interested to see if we can get a correction to the downside and then a continuation long on that. This is a sub-fib running, which is pretty much what you have on your 1. there. Think it's gonna push to that 118, 127 zone, right?
Man, I don't know. All of these yens are starting to correct, so we may not see that on the daily, unless we'll see what happens at 143, 220.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that level holds, then we could see it. But if we break through that and continue, then that move will continue to the downside after a pullback.
Yeah. So if it hits that zone, right, I'll look to short it. But if it wants to go short now, I'll look to buy. I'm gonna look to buy it.
I'm with that.
To the side. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we make the immediate move off the B boundary right now, I'll wait and look to buy it, right? See, because then on the 4, what that's doing is that's gonna press into that cloud, right, into that cloud structure. And we're looking bullish, you know. So that's what I'll be looking to do, right? See it push back down, be patient with it. Right? So it makes it really, really simple, right? When it comes to your decision making. Hey, if it doesn't push up around this zone, I'm not counter trend trading, right? That could be one of your rules. I only want that clean, pure 80-20. If it comes off the B boundary immediately and the trend is long still, then I'll wait for a deep price and then look to buy it. Right? In the direction that is heading. So that's where we are on the switch yen. Any questions on that?
No, sir.
All right, cool deal. I want to take a look at this Euro Swissy first. Because I'm liking where this is sitting right now. Right? It's pressing into the cloud, it's holding, right? Trying to form that low. My stochastic is in the buy zone, things are starting to line up, right? To see if we can get a move back bullish. I'm favoring the euro, right? The central bank that's hawkish, right? So here's that daily fib brought down to the 4. Okay. So I had this level drawn up. I'm hoping to get a push back into that zone. We may or may not. But what I'm looking for everybody on this 4 hour is for long-term swing. And these are primarily what I'm going over tonight. Right? Long-term swing, ones that you can just get in and just take the ride for a little while. I'm going to wait, right? Maybe we get that rejection, the press down, maybe not. Right? Stochastics, right? Way up there at 100% overbought. Okay. It's range bound. But if I continue to monitor this and I get a break above that 4 hour cloud, right, I am going to look to continue long, right? Look to get long. That'd be a beautiful move, right? That's a long, right? We get above that cloud. That's why I'm willing to be patient, because these are huge moves. That's 381 to that D extension somewhere around there. Okay. So I don't necessarily have to take it at these levels. I could be patient and wait. That's how I want to play these. Any question on the Euro Swiss?
No, sir. I like that one too.
Awesome. Joy been holding us at missed my TP by 4 pips on the short term. It's all good. You're in the arena. That's what counts. Yeah, I'm in one of the moves, Ryan, where, once those corrections happen on those large AP boundaries, I'm looking like, man, I want to start dripping some trades in at some levels and just see if we can get some good runners.
Yeah.
And just let them go. And it seems like that's the point in time where we are in the market right now. So we shall see. I want to take a look at this Euro Yen. Okay. And you can see how, right, these crosses, right? Some of them are choppy, but you can see look how the week is going, right? How that's pushing bullish. Okay. This has been pretty choppy overall. right? But you're starting to get these breaks. So this is a daily level at 142.92. So even if you didn't have the cloud here, the way this has been ranging, it's like, man, if that breaks above that and that holds, look to get long. Additional cloud confirmation tells you, it's like, man, especially if I get a bullish cloud up ahead and it breaks and holds, then hey, at least let's start to work our way up. Okay, let's start to work our way up. So these are longer term swings. Okay, so if we come down to the 4, you can see that as choppy as it's been, look at how it's trying to break out of this range that I have drawn. Okay. So here's my range area. It's trying to make a move out. So she's at 142.92. Right, there's that extension there. But it's like, man, if I can get, right, you can see here on the 4 how we're starting to get bullish. We're starting to get bullish. We needed to break out and start trending. And I think if we can get above this level, then we may be ready to go on a nice little run. Okay. So that's the Euro JPY. I'm just being patient with that on the 4 because it's been so choppy. But you can see how you've already gotten a break, right? A break above the cloud. You even have now, you've got your lagging span. Your Tico span has moved up with it. Okay, so this may be ready to start trending. We'll see. Right, this level is going to be key. You can see how it keeps rejecting. Okay, this may be the time. See how the clouds are just moving through price, right? That's telling me I'm ranging. But let's see if we can break out. All right, so that is the EJ. I want to take a look at this Euro GBP because I am leaning bullish with this Euro. So, yeah, I just lose my 4-hour chart again. All right, so here we are. Okay. Okay, I'm leaning more to the bullish side on the Euro. So I'm really paying attention to price action at this level. It's 87.55. We got the cloud here. It's moving, right? Moving through price, a little choppy, but I want to see if we can get trending, see if we can form a low and start trending to the upside, eventually break through this 89.78 level. I will go to my 4, but I don't have it. So hold on one second. Draw it up again because this is a nice look at this level. So let me take this out. Let me do this real quick. Take this level out here, and then I'm just going to drop my support resistance levels back down and put that back on now. And get back to where I had my fib running off the low. Because it's actually going to give you a better picture than what we're seeing on a daily. There. Okay. So we've got some 4-hour levels here where prices trying to hold up. Yeah. So that. Okay. Always have to watch and play the support and resistance game. This one in there too. Like that. Boom. I can take these off now. Right. Smart Trader makes it nice and easy. So put my cloud on, and bang, right? So I'm gonna play this one the same way. Okay. I'm actually gonna let it take off, right? Because I'm not limiting in or anything on these moves. Right? Market's been low all over the place. Nice correction. Okay, nice correction off this level. Okay, very nice correction. Now, if it's going to get back bullish, okay, I want to see it make the move. I want the cloud to adjust, give me the proper alignment, right? And then I want to get long. Just like that. And so a lot of these I'm going to be patient and wait for cloud breakouts on the 4-hour chart. I'm not even going to drop down to the 1. I'm going to sit here on the 4, and I'm going to see if we can get this price action to move and break that cloud. And when it does, I am in there. Ryan, what you think about that?
You know, I don't trade this one too much, but I like your thought process here. I definitely follow your thought process, and I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I don't trade it early either.
Every now and then
nice
they give you those
correction.
ones
It looks
that are
clean.
just
Yeah. You know, it's looking clean. So I'm like, hey, you know what? But I'm gonna wait on it though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait on it. You know, I want this to be a great year. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got time with this Euro GBP. It's gonna take its time. So
yeah, for sure. I want this to be an awesome year. And I'm like, you know what? On these C to D swings, especially with this pair, I'm gonna wait and play that breakout. See what we can do with that. All right. Any questions on that Euro GBP?
I think we're good.
Good. All righty. So those are some decent setups. You gotta be patient though. You gotta be patient. You gotta wait on those. You gotta be willing to sit on your hands and wait for it to give you the type of price action that you want to see. I do want to take a look at this Euro USD to see exactly where we are. Right. So look at that right on the weekly. That's got me wondering, man. But it's hard to tell with the dollar, right? We know where the euro is. I'm trying to figure out this dollar though. So, all right, that's on the weekly, right? And that could take a while. So the question is, do we get a further push down into this cloud to retest? I don't know. Right? We're moving sideways. The dollar has to figure itself out. The dollar is in a range, but we know the move. It had got bullish against the dollar. Dollar fell off. The stochastic on the 4 is in the sell zone. This is the weekly 382 way down here. This is a wait and see for me. This is a wait and see. I don't know yet. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this one, Ryan?
So it's going to be interesting. I initially said if we stay below this that weekly level, or you got a 4-hour level there at 107.934. I'll look for a continuation. But with the reaction to the news, it was so so indecisive. I'm still indecisive on it. So I'm just watching this one.
Yeah, I don't have a play.
And you got a, you know, the hawkish ECB, and So I don't have a play either. So I'm sitting on the sideline on this and just watching.
Yeah.
See if we get a break out of that range at some point.
Maybe we get it with retail sales,
Maybe.
you know, because it's just the inverse of the DXY, right? And we know in the DXY, we got the same range going on.
Yep.
So we got some decisions to make later, though. So no play on it right now while stuck in that range. Let's wait to see. Wait to see what happens, because the thing that I'm trying to figure out now, right, is of course you got your yields that can go up with the dollar and with the bonds, but it's like, how much is that? They were already talking about, you know, 2 more 25 basis point hikes for the US for the dollar.
Yeah.
The whole debate has been whether they're going to hold it, how long they're going to hold it at that level. The Fed said we're going to hold it throughout the year and possibly next year and even the year after that, some of the Fed members, right? But the whole thing with the markets has been, we think they're going to end up cutting by the end of the year. So this type of mess right now doesn't surprise me. So retail sales will be interesting tomorrow. That might give us a better idea of what's going on. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we sit and we wait. Sit and we wait. I think did I have something with the Euro and the NZD? Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. So, right. So we are trying to, right? It's ranging, but we're trying to get back bullish, right? We're back above the cloud. See how we got this break? This break and this pullback, and now we're getting a little bit of a bounce, right? So it's 171.13. If we break above that, look at the correction that we already got. Right? So you can see how it's getting whipsawed a bit, but you can see how, right, it's still kind of trending in the upward trajectory right now. Okay. So, and then I'm just bullish on the euro. So here's a break above the cloud, right? We're flat. Okay, up ahead, we're bearish because we're kind of ranging and consolidating. So I'm interested to see if we can start getting above these levels, 172.56. There's that 171.13 up above. But right now, we got a nice U-turn, a nice bounce off that 61.8, everybody. All right, but I'm going to be patient to see if we can get some shifting with the cloud and get a break above this 172.56. Then we might be looking to set something up there. So if we zoom out here, look at that. Right. This is what I'm saying. Like, you got time. These moves are large, right? These euro moves are large. So here was that move, right? Off your 61.8 zone, off the 4 hour. And then look right here, right? That's what's got me hesitant, is because it's tested this area so many times. But if we start to break it, though, we may be ready to make that run. So keep your eye on that Euro NZD, right? These are just classic swing trades, right? Classic swing trades. They're looking to potentially set up and get long for it. So if you missed it off these lower levels, no worries, right? No worries, because these can actually pick up and run for a while. Okay, so we're not going to worry about that deep right on the money entry, even though that would be good right now. But we've got time to let it break above some levels. Any questions on the Euro NZD?
In general, too, Benny, those you talk to me about this a lot. Those C to D moves, generally, they can take the longest to play out, but they can also bounce around a little bit, right? And give you, a couple lows to be able to find entries on. So they take the time moving, but when they go, they go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. So like, we got that initial move, right? Got that initial move. And this is just me being more conservative too, but there's the swing point and we're moving long. So let's just wait, see what we can get. Because especially if you're using the cloud, right? Then once you get to break above the cloud, even a retest, things look in your favor, then you don't put the stop below the A, you just come up, put the stop below the cloud, right? And then let it run. Okay, still gives you a beautiful risk to reward type of play. All right, so for example, off this 4, right, you get above that 4 hour zone, That's 300 pips, right, to that level, right? So if your stop at that point is somewhere below this cloud, that's going to put you in a beautiful risk to reward for the swing. So that's just me adding extra confirmation in these times where the market is told by the introduction today seems to be a little bit all over the place. So I like to look for some additional confirmation. All right, so this is how I'm going to play these. And that is that. We've got a few minutes left. Are there any particular pairs, right? Got time for a few that we want to take a look at before we close out? On this Valentine's Day, I'm trying to stay in good favor, everybody.
Me too. Joyce said EA.
Yeah, yeah, man. Pop over the sparkling grape juice right at the 10 o'clock hour. Yeah, EA. Let's see. Ranging, right? You got a battle. Hey, look at that. It's winning right now, coming into the day. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Let's continue to watch. It's just whipsaw. Yeah. I don't have a play on it. But Joy, which way you trade that? A few different ways you can play that depending on what time frames you're on.
So just like I played the ECAD and eShuff around at the same time, it was a 15-minute play and it ended up turning, it was like a couple of pips from my TP and I just been holding them.
Okay.
To the upside.
To the upside?
Yeah. I mean, they're just not getting back in profit. If I was paying attention that last high, I should have exited out on, but I forgot about them. And so I noticed it didn't take out my A, so I just stayed in.
Yeah, I got hands off him in his range, but it's like it's back above these levels now. So you probably gonna make out on this.
Yeah.
Right? To the upside, look at that. That broke right back above these 4 hour zone. So you're thinking right to the high, then to the top of the range.
Yep.
Beyond.
That's originally how I was trying to I thought it was gonna play out on the field that I had. I thought it was gonna play off that last high off that 155-102. It turned
turned back around on you.
It turned back around on me. So I just went ahead and held it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But that's all right. That's the beauty of having your risk management under control.
Yeah.
You know, right? No, we know guys that just play. Look at everybody. They play levels, and they was just start dripping trades in at certain levels. Like it's gonna turn around eventually, and that's how they swing trade. Like they will play. You know, so like when we play those 80-20 plays and things like that, they start dripping trades in at those levels, and it's just like my risk management is stellar, and I'm just gonna let it run. And that's exactly what you're doing. It's the way to trade without having a big headache. You know, if you don't like that being in and out of the market and sweating bullets and being highly leveraged, you know, it is a really good way to trade. You know, so that trade is working its way back from you. You know, so you don't have to be so when you use really good risk management, you don't have to be so concerned with perfect entries all the time. You know, you can trade the levels or trade the zones, you know, and see where you come out because you're not putting it all on the table anyway. So good job. Good job. You're constantly in the market putting in a good fight, and that's how you learn. That's the only.
That rent was starting to go up on it, and I was like, is it worth it to hold it? So the higher that rent get, I was like, how long I've been in this trade? But I don't care no more.
Yeah, because if you got your stop management worked out, and if it's not hitting that stop, you know, and that's what used to bring me so much anxiety, even though I had the stop loss in, is just having that confidence people say having confidence in your trade, but it really boils down to having confidence in yourself and your judgment. Right? The markets will teach you a lot, and that's what I was finding out. Like I was just talking to a gentleman over the weekend, and he's just like, man, I'm just a wanderer. I keep jumping from, trade setup, strategy to strategy. And a lot of times when you find out, just like, man, I don't really have confidence in my own analysis, and so I'm trying to look for, that crutch, and it's like, oh man, get out here like you're doing and make your mistakes on your own and live through them, journal, take notes, right? Learn from it. But that's a lot of times why people go strategy hopping. It's like they never spend the time on the charts to build that confidence in themselves and to believe in their own, their own technical ability, and that'll continue to haunt you until you actually do it, force yourself to do it. So good job. Good job. It's definitely corrected to the upside. It's a wild one, but that's what happens when you get two currencies that are pretty strong too. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Any other pairs? Just EA? Nobody had nothing else? Everybody just relaxing. It's Valentine's Day, I know. Okay. Right. Anything that you had your eyes on before we wrap it up?
No, man. You covered the ones that I got my eyes on, and I'm waiting to see how the rest of the week plays out. You got, like you said, some of those longer term swings, and you got some that are in between, waiting for a breakout. So I'm just observing now with the ones that I got in. So
Gotcha. Oh, I do want to take a look at that because we posted this trade a long time ago. And this is where we're talking about these long-term swings, and these are actually the ones that I like, everybody, because you can kind of just go away and drift off, and then eventually they make their move, and then you look at your phone and everything starts to turn blue that was red at some point, right? So you just let it go. And I'm keeping a steady eye on this dollar Swissy because I'm still looking for a move to the upside on this, but the dollar's ranging. So just keep an eye on that one because that's a long play, but I'm hoping it can eventually build some momentum to the upside. And it's trying to. It's a little engine that could right now. But I'm just gonna let it rock and see where it comes out. You still holding it too? Yeah, I'm still holding it. So let's see what happens with that. All right. Other than that, that is all that I have for this evening, everybody. So if we don't have any other questions, we are going to close it down. Ryan, anything to add before we log off?
just there at the point you just made, bro. The thing that gets you over the hump is forcing yourself to do it. You can't feel your way into acting, but you can act your way into feeling. So you got to take action to make it happen.
That's it. Bridget, me too. Yeah, I'm holding it too, Bridget. With that being said, hey, everybody, we'll see you 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow for the pre-New York session. Retail sales tomorrow and some other things. So let's see what happens. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Welcome.